Also, honestly, a big series for the Pirates and Steve Blass, because this will be his last series in the Bucco broadcast booth. So it's a good way to go out for Steve Blass, getting a win here tonight. The Pirates did it in dramatic fashion. Kevin Newman, 2 home runs today to beat the Reds 6-5. We have a lot of things to talk about. 412-575-2600 is the number tonight. We can talk about the Steelers. They're looking for their first win of the season, and it should be favorable matchup for the Steelers. Right now, they're about a 3.5-point favorite in this game, a Monday night game. The Steelers are good on Monday night. They're good in prime time, but this is a different year for the Steelers right now. They have to kind of get their act together. They got to get something going on offense, and they got to get that defense with 10 first-rounders to start playing like a defense that has 10 first-round draft picks on it. The one thing that I did like about the second half in San Francisco, I was in San Francisco with the team. The one thing I did like is the offense and Mason Rudolph. He threw downfield a little bit more. He opened it up. He really looked more relaxed and looked control. And I think that might carry over into this game Monday night against the Bengals. You know, the one concern I have right now is the run game. James Conner hasn't been getting too many yards after first contact. They've struggled on third downs. He was one of the best running backs at the start of last season. This season, one of the worst, averaging under 3 yards per carry right now. And the Steelers desperately need him to try to figure things out. I mean, I don't know about you, but the one thing that it looks like to me, I'm just going with the eye test here, and I'm going to bring in Paul Zeise for this one. Jalen Samuels looks like he runs harder. So does Benny Snell football. These guys look more into the game. That's just, I'm just going by what I see.
I think the big thing with James Conner is this year he's not making anybody miss.
No.
And
as soon as he gets touched, he goes down.
He's going down on first contact. He's not running through people. He's not running through even the arm tackles. He's not doing what made him really successful last year, when he was a Pro Bowler.
How do you explain it then? I mean, was it a mirage last year?
There's some people that think that, is he hurt? Maybe he's not 100%. I mean, there's a lot of different theories. I think that basically that whole operation, the running game, and, him running the ball and the offensive line, all of that stuff has got to get better.
Yeah.
Part of it is him. Part of it is the offensive line. So, to me, to your point, Jalen Samuels, when he's been in there, has looked more effective of the two. But he's only ran 5 times this year, so let's not lose our mind.
I'm not trying to lose my mind, but I'm just saying the guys look better.
He deserves to have more opportunities than he's getting.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Benny Snell gets 1 carry, and he breaks one off for 24 yards. Yeah. I'm not saying he should be your starting running back, and I'm not saying Jalen Samuels should be your starting running back. But right now, if it's up to me, I go every other series. Or, if you don't see anything from Conner early on, I go right to Jalen Samuels. Try to get him going and see what happens. Because they have to get that run game going for Mason Rudolph to be effective. He struggled early on, but he looked a little bit more relaxed in the second half. And, the other thing about James Conner right now, he's not running the ball well, but he also fumbled the game away in San Francisco. If he holds onto that ball, the Steelers win that game.
Right. Probably, or well, you never know. But it's obviously, if the Steelers have the opportunity to punt, or if they get 1 or 2 more first downs, and now there's only 3 minutes left, and they punt, and then San Francisco has to go 90 yards instead of 20, maybe it's a different game. And at that point, the reality is that's a huge play, and you've got to hold on to the football there.
You know what's huge tonight, Paul? Pirates game. Huge win. Kevin Newman, baby.
Come on.
Kevin Newman fever.
Come on. Listen, I'm excited.
2020 Buccos. Here they come. Kevin Newman, you're starting shortstop next year.
Here's what's going to happen. They're going to probably win their next 2 games. We finished on a 6-game winning streak. Going to give us momentum going into next year.
We don't need to add anything. You saw how we did the last 5 games of the year.
Come on.
All right, we got to go to break. Back with phone calls and tweets coming up next. Stay right there.
The Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call is brought to you by Ireland.